Hello, people. Hope you had a good spring break. This is 18.2H. So, working with the sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine is the opposite of our hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent of hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite of adjacent. So, please memorize that as it's the trig functions. Okay, so number one, sine of z. Oh, the front side is just review. So back side is something new, but front side is review. So sine of z, sine is telling you it's opposite over hypotenuse, is the O. And then z is telling you that opposite is 10 and hypotenuse is 26. And 24 we're not going to use, that's the adjacent side. Okay, so for sine, I just need the opposite in hypotenuse. Opposite is 10, hypotenuse is 26. Divided by 2, reduced by 2, you get 5 over 13, and that's it. Okay, so number, I'm sure you know how to do it. So number 5, solving for x. So once again, you start with the angle. Angle is 21 degrees. Across from that is the opposite side. We have something there. Across from 90 is your hypotenuse side. We have nothing there. There's no number or the letter. So the leftover side, x must be the adjacent side. So which one uses the OA? OA? So that's the SOHCAHTOA. Tangent uses it. So tangent needs an angle with it. So what's the angle? 21 degrees. Opposite is 20, adjacent is x. So fraction, you could get rid of it by multiplying by x. So x starts out in the bottom, so we cannot solve for x when it's like 1 over x. So we'll multiply by x, so x is on the left side now. And then I need to get rid of tangent 21 to solve for the x, so divided by tangent of 21 on left and right. So x by itself is equal to 20 divided by tangent of 21, which happens to be 52.10. So that's our review from last week. So something new for this week. So let's say number 10. So we're now finding the angle. So the angle is your x. It says question mark, but question mark is your x. So we still start with the angle and then we go across from it and there's nothing there. So opposite is not there. Across from the 90, that's the hypotenuse. And then the leftover one, this must be the adjacent. So which one uses the adjacent and hypotenuse? Which one is the A? So sine is the O, cosine is the A. SOHCAHTOA. CAH. So cosine of the angle, which happens to be x. And adjacent is 21, hypotenuse is 23. So on this one, don't forget, how do I get rid of cosine? You don't divide it by cosine. To get rid of the cosine, we have to do what's called the inverse cosine. And you find that on your phone calculator by pressing second, and then it gives you cosine -1. Okay, well, you got to turn the phone calculator sideways, and it gives you sine, cosine, tangent. If you press the second, it gives you sine -1, cos -1, tangent -1. So that cancels out the cosine and you get x. So you put this in a calculator, cosine, well, for phone calculator, you might have to do 21 divided by 23 equals, and you get a decimal number, and then you press the inverse cosine. A regular scientific calculator, you just press it in the order that you write. Cos -1, parentheses 21 divided by 23. So you get x is about 24.0 something, but for this one, it says, so keep the answers to the nearest degree. So we don't need any decimal points. So just keep the whole numbers, round it to the whole numbers. Okay. let's just do, well, I guess I'll do two more. Okay, so number 15 and 16, they kind of look the same. So here's the angle, has an x. So if you go across from the x, there's your opposite, 11. Across from 90, that's your hypotenuse. We don't have anything on hypotenuse. So leftover one, that must be the adjacent. So OA, that's the tangent. Okay, let me move this up a little bit. Okay, so tangent of the angle, which is still x, equals opposite, 11, adjacent, 30. So to get rid of tangent, you have to do what's called the inverse tangent. So tan negative 1 on the left and tan negative 1 on the right. So this cancels out the tangent and you get x by itself. So you don't need to rewrite it, but inverse tangent of 11 over 30, you don't have to rewrite it. But if you work it out on a calculator, it should be around 20.4-ish. So 20 degree is the answer. So in 16, what's the difference? Is 20 going to be adjacent just like number 15? No, because when you go across the angle, that's your opposite side, 7. And then when you go across the 90 degrees, that's your hypotenuse. And then you're missing the adjacent. So because the 90 degree is here, the hypotenuse is on opposite of 90 degrees, which happens to be on top. Okay, so instead of using tangent, we have to use opposite over hypotenuse, which is a sine. So use the sine, and I'm sure you'll get the answer, which happens to be x equals 19. Okay. All right, so something new, but we still use the same starting formula, sine, cosine, tangent, and then to solve for the x in the final step, you have to do inverse tangent, inverse sine, which is in your calculator. Okay, have fun.